Okay, for this tutorial I want to teach you just a little bit about the new document window in Photoshop. So when you go to File, New, you get a window that looks sort of like this. Let me bump into it just a little bit. So the name here, obviously, we can call it whatever we want. This is ideally the name of the project or whatever it is that you're working on. Then we have a document type, and we can choose different options here. And I mean, again, there's all sorts of options to choose from. So if we were going to create something to go into a video, then we might go to Film and Video, and then we'd probably go down to 1080p, and everything sets how we want it to. Or in the case of one of the projects we're doing for the class, we might go to Web, and we'll just leave it at a fairly standard setting, the web most common, and we'll just leave it there. But you'll notice there are lots of different options. So for example, if you want to do an iMac background, then the iMac 27-inch, that's the design for it. The desktop HD design is going to be that size. So you can choose something that's going to be and it'll be the correct size. So I'm just going to stick with web most common. Next thing I want to mention real quickly is resolution. Resolution is how many pixels per inch. And basically what that means is it sort of has to do with the quality of the image. If this is going to be printed, you're going to want this resolution to be more than 72. It's going to need to be at least 150, and usually we go to 300 if it's going to be printed. If it's only going to be viewed on the computer or on the web, then you want this to be 72. So that's why it's a default inside of Photoshop. But you'll notice if I change it to Film and Video, well, maybe Film and Video is actually a bad example. If I go to Photo, notice how that changes to 300. Okay, because I'm probably going to print the photo if I'm going to choose the photo option. So 300 is our resolution there. Everything else is going to go to the web, or if we're going to just keep it on the computer, then we're probably going to stick to 72. Then of course we're talking about our pixels here. So how many pixels wide is it? How many pixels tall is it? You can of course flip these if you want it to be, instead of more wide than tall, if you want it to be more tall than wide, we could flip it. And then everything else I usually just leave as the default, depending on the project. I'm not going to get into other options here, but just that's the basics. We have our name, the document type, we have choices on our size, which is also set down here, and then of course our resolution, and that is the new document window.